Welcome back to LIVENODING. In this episode, I want to show you just the basic stuff, how to turn grease pencil strokes like this into some kind of hair strands with multiple colors. So as we already know, with Blender 3.5, we have these hair presets, geometry hair presets. And what if you have like grease pencil drawing or strokes and you want to turn it into hair strands? Is it a lot easier now? So let's get started. Grease pencil, blank, and we're just gonna draw something very quickly. Just a single stroke, just a spiral like this, like a snail. Okay, you can of course like do like a sculpt if you want to. Just sculpt the thickness. I don't know why you want to do this, but maybe it will be useful in the future. So I just duplicated the grease pencil. If I right click, convert it into something else, I want to turn it into hair, but there is no options for the hair curve, so I will just turn it into Bezier curve for now. Now we have original grease pencil and the second grease pencil that I will delete, and then we have this curve which is actually have a lot of details. And as you already know, maybe the curve can be extruded, and as you can see, grease pencil stroke with the sculpted radius still have the thickness on this curve. Let me save this very quickly. Curve here. But this guy over here is not a hair curve. So if I right click, convert it into hair curves, now we actually have these options. So it goes through multiple process. It says no evaluated curve data. Okay, that's interesting. Let's get rid of the depth. Right click, convert to curve. Now this actually works. But as you can see, our curve becomes this just straight lines. However, this is like a curved hair objects with a lot of properties that comes built in, and this guy is kind of special. This object is special because we can now jump into the assets browsers, and then we can use this modifier to control our curve. Before I do anything, I think, okay, we are currently using render engine EV. There's these options for curve. We either use the strands or stripes. Okay, this might be what's surprising to many people at first. But it's kind of like almost like hidden, but you need to know where to go if you are dealing with hair and you want your grease pencil, originally grease pencil strokes, now it's becoming like a hair. The next thing you want to do is actually set hair curve. Okay, this guy over here with a long name, drag and drop it. Set hair curve profile. Okay, this is the first important one. So you can subdivide more or less, and you can keep it as a strand or a stripes. Let's use stripes for now. Set hair curve profile, have this radius options. So this is super useful. We of course we lost the information from the original curve. There might be a way to kind of bake the attributes that we have from grease pencil into this curve, and then use geometry nodes to bake into custom attributes and then bring it into the hair. But for now, let's just keep it this way. Maybe we could actually kind of use this curve and then dynamically transfer it into the hair. For now, we don't care too much, okay? We just have this a single strand of hair now, and this set hair curve profile is actually controlling the curve shapes, okay? Imagine from the tip to the very end, we can control the thickness. Okay, so that should be pretty clear. Now we just need to experiment. We have to play around with all these presets. They are all geometry nodes, so if you don't know already, geometry nodes editor, if we go inside, this is the set curve profile node 3, for example. It's got this radius, switch, shape range. It doesn't have the graph showing the curve, maybe inside. Yeah, but anyway, there's these nodes that you can modify. For now, I believe we can try playing around with this. Hair curve noise is probably one that you want to try right away. Noise, distance, shapes. Yeah, it's basically like a noise, right? And the next one that's kind of interesting is actually trim hair curve. With trim you can trim your hair curves. Yeah, so that's pretty kind of self-explanatory. There's this random offset. What is this random offset for? That's actually if you have multiple strands of hair. So in order to have multiple hair, you need to duplicate the hair curve, so it's not a single strand anymore. So put the duplicate hair before other things. We have 10, you can have 50. Let's leave it 10 for now. The radius is actually how the radius of the curve strands. Maybe we can clump them as well a bit later. For now, okay, there's this option even thickness. Okay, back to trim hair. There's this random offset of the trim, so we have now random length of the curve now. We don't have random radius. Each of the hair still have the same radius. At least we have something different here with different length. Yeah, we can animate this way, so that's kind of cool. And we can also offset the length so it's longer than originally it was. You probably don't want that. There's mask. I haven't really used that. The mask probably have something to do with the random offset. Anyhow, let's see what else. View. Okay. Generate hair curves only if you have a surface. Interpolate hair curves. I haven't tried this one, but it disappear right away, maybe because we don't have surface or we don't have like a curve guide. So don't worry about that for now. Let's increase the number of duplicates. So this guy, as boring as it is, if you maybe give a material, make this medium. If you have a material and go to the shader, we can use the curve info and then color ramp, maybe random color for each strands, and then we can give it a color. Just a basic one with HSV, and we can use clockwise. We have this spectrum of color. We render it out using EV or cycles. Okay, it's anyhow, it seems to work, and each of the hair strands have a different index color, so each one of them is different. I was kind of wondering, we probably can use one of these attributes that's maybe being generated using the nodes as well. Let's say if you have like 5 strands of hair. Maybe we should have different color for each one of them or something, but at the moment it's random anyway. Yeah, so the deformations, there's a lot of other things, not just the noise, not just hair curve noise. There's also this roll hair, which is really interesting. I think roll hair, because it should roll our hair. There we go. It's like a spiral over a spiral, so that's maybe what you want. We have to experiment with this. Okay, there's a taper. Okay, there's a, this thing is super random. Random rotations. So the factor is affecting the line. Variation level. Okay. Roll length. If we increase the length, maybe it's gonna keep rolling into the original curve. Now we actually have something that's a little bit more interesting, like almost like fractal, almost. So that's the roll hair. There are other things that we have to try. Straighten, smooth, straighten. Okay, there's a blend. Blend hair curves is interesting. I don't know. Maybe try freezy for now. Freeze, distance. Okay, this is probably my favorite besides the roll. You can randomize the seed, so it's seems pretty simple to use. Cumulative offset. Okay, nice. Okay, very nice. The other one, that's okay. Rotate hair. Okay, let's rotate. Can we rotate this? Yeah, rotate is actually kind of nice. It's hard to explain, but if you rotate it quite a lot, it's almost like a snail. Okay, don't worry about that. Smooth hair, trim hair. Okay, we'll use that. Straighten. Blend hair. Okay, blend hair is the weird one. Maybe it's blending all the hair together, so it's kind of like how can I explain? Maybe they are all kind of, all the value is kind of smoothed out if you use blend. So it's similar to smooth hair curve maybe. So, and this one have these iterations options that's definitely useful. So it's smoothing everything. Maybe up here we need to have more subdivisions. Oh, maximum is 3. So that's no, not an options. I'm experimenting, with the noise and everything. Maybe put the duplicates up there. Can increase the number. So now it's gonna get really complex. The radius, if we reduce it, it's gonna go down. So anyhow, we're gonna end up with a single strands. Anyhow, if you have a curve, you cannot just, let's say you have a curve objects, right? Instead of grease pencil, and then I just go to edit mode, delete everything, go to draw, and let's say we are drawing something, like an artwork using just curve. Can we just copy this guy, copy the modifier? Can we do that? Select this object, Command L, copy modifier. Yeah, we might need to simplify this curve a little bit more. And we're starting to get something that's a little bit more interesting. But remember, this is, yeah, so the effect is totally different. Why? Because this is like a normal curve object and this one is a curve hair object. If I duplicate this guy and then convert it into hair curve, before we actually do anything here, like if I copy that and then collapse all of this, delete all of this, we don't need, okay, right? So it's kind of experimental, right? But this is, if you convert this into hair curve and then copy the modifier, okay. The results actually kind of similar. I was expecting this guy to be closer to this guy, but based on the stroke. So I have a feeling that maybe it's all depends on the size and scale, and maybe the length of the curve is too strong. Yeah, that's probably right. So this guy length need to be adjusted. So while hair curve is, you can see from the icon here, right? This is like a hair curve object. This guy is a hair curve. This guy, however, is still just a Bezier curve. Bezier curve itself is important. Why? Because it's a, you still have control over the geometry, so you can switch to other geometry very quickly. You can actually remesh the curve as well using the normal geometry nodes. So I haven't tried all of this, just trying to do this on the fly. The basic one, curve to mesh with a circle, remember? Oh, okay, this is probably gonna explode. Yeah, but this guy can be actually baked. Maybe we need to reduce the number, etc., or convert this mesh into a volume. We cannot do all that. Maybe that's actually it's better for the next episode because it's gonna take too long. Okay, it's a volume now. Volume to mesh. Yeah, anyhow, whatever, this one maybe for the next video. So for now, hair curves from grease pencil. So there are 3 different objects, just something that you need to keep in mind. From grease pencil into hair curve is totally different. So can you have the other way? Can you go the other way around? Can you turn this back into into grease pencil? Maybe in the future, and that's gonna be a lot more efficient. So hair curve is just like much more efficient hair that Blender can render and can handle. With curve, if you have like thousands and thousands of curves, it's gonna be less efficient compared to hair curves, because a single hair can be interpolated and the hair also can follow the surface, etc., easier. But anyhow, with Blender 3.5, you actually can control all of these using geometry nodes. So that's what make this really powerful and adjustable. So if your character have hair, you can have full control over the hair, pretty much easier control using nodes. All right, so that's pretty much what I'm gonna say. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.